the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. Rise and shine, it's your time. Skill up, raise the climb. Navigate, innovate. It's your fate, don't be late. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay.
If you're a new manager or hoping to be a new manager, join us in our exploration into what managers need to know. This program will set you up for success by building your knowledge and confidence in the skills you need to be effective. Hello, and welcome to the first of 5 sessions on handling conflict or conflict management. Today, we're going to be talking about what conflict is. And then on the second session, we'll look at both the good and the bad aspects of conflict, because it has both. Then we're going to look at different conflict management strategies. First, the compete or the shark, and the avoid or the turtle. On the 4th week, we will look at the 3 remaining conflict management strategies: accommodate, which is the teddy bear, compromise, which is the fox, and collaborate, which is the owl. And on the 5th week, we're going to look at why we respond the way we do, because some of us are not comfortable with conflict at all, and we need to understand why, because that can leave us at a disadvantage if we don't understand ourselves. So how many of you have experienced conflict? And most of us, we have. If we have lived at any life whatsoever, there has been conflict. How many of you get a stomach ache or a headache when faced with conflict? I know I do. And how many of you enjoy a good conflict? It's rousing for you. If it is, good for you. So welcome. Today we look at what is conflict, and we're going to go through some questions or statements. So first, conflict is simply a disagreement. Do you agree or disagree with that? I think many times when we think about conflict, we think about violence, people yelling or throwing things. And that certainly is one type of conflict. But is conflict simply a disagreement? Conflict can be positive. Those of us who are conflict averse may have trouble believing that conflict, differences of agreement, can be positive. But quite honestly, if everyone thinks the same way all the time, there will be no innovation, no creativity. There are times when competing is a good conflict management strategy. Competing meaning my way or the highway. You do what I say right now, and I mean it. There are times when competing is a good conflict management strategy. And when we discuss competing in session 3, we'll look at the pros and cons of using that conflict strategy. Conflict avoidance can create more conflict. Well, I mentioned that conflict avoidance is the turtle. And just because you go into your shell doesn't mean the conflict goes away. So can it create more conflict? We'll explore that on the 3rd session. Accommodation is rarely rewarded. And by accommodation, I mean, I'll give you this tit for tat. And I give you this with the expectation that you will do me a certain kind of favor in response. But does that happen? We will look at that on the fourth session. Compromise is a lose-lose proposition. Well, we very often talk about compromise as being very positive. Let's get to a good compromise. But the question is compromise good? Because compromise means giving up something. So we're saying here it's a lose-lose proposition. When we look at it in the fourth session, we'll see why. And then there's the myth that collaboration is time-consuming. Oh, it certainly can be if we're trying to get everyone on the same page, everyone agreeing, or at least agreeing not to disagree. And it can be time-consuming depending on how many parties are involved and what the conflict is about, but it does not have to be time-consuming. So we will look at that in the fourth session. So, what is conflict? It's a situation where two or more individuals, groups, or entities have opposing interests, needs, or values, which leads to tension or disagreement. And how violent or how mild that disagreement is going to depend a great deal on why we react the way we do, what we're programmed to do in a conflict situation. And we'll discover that many of us devised our conflict management strategies as survival mechanisms, starting when we were very young. But since we're not very young anymore, and some of us are less young than others, we have had life experiences that have hopefully taught us how to manage conflict in a milder, more objective, more productive way. Let's talk. If you would like help in managing conflict, please schedule time to talk with me. There is the URL for my Calendly link, as well as the QR code. So next week, we are going to get into the meat of our considerations about conflict management, looking at the good and the bad aspects of conflict. So be thinking about that as you go through your day and you run into disagreements with people. Are they leading to something negative, or are there some positive results? Thank you for sharing your time with me. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for coming and participating in our discussion of what managers need to know. You can find the videos of this and previous sessions on my YouTube channel or under events on my LinkedIn profile. I'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost. Lead the way, every day, find success, it's here to stay. Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost. Lead the way, every day, find success, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Oh, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Yeah. Get the skills, be the boss, no more time to feel lost.